friendlies, I'm Carolyn. Welcome back to my life living and working in an RV. Are you wondering how hard it is to work on the road when you're going to remote places? Are you going to be able to make a living? And if so, what are you going to need to be able to stay connected, have enough power, have the right equipment? Today, I'm going to walk you through everything that I use in order to work on the road, including showing you my whole office setup. So stay tuned. If you've been thinking or wondering if you're going to work on the road, stay tuned to find out how easy it really is. All right, pretty much everyone who works remotely is going to rely on a laptop, or at least a phone if you're going to do customer service by phone. But I think everybody pretty much is going to need a laptop. And the number one thing you're going to need to worry about is how are you going to keep all of your electronics charged? That's where your solar system comes in. And I've done videos before about my solar system. I'll put links to that in the video description. But just real quickly, I have a minimal amount of solar. I think a lot of newbies make the mistake of going way overboard on the solar, putting in 5,000 watts of solar that they really don't need. They don't have the battery capacity for. They're floating by 8 o'clock in the morning. They've got excess power. Unless you want to run a washing machine, a sauna, an air conditioner, I mean, all kinds of things off grid, you do not need that much solar. I survive, or I can survive, on 260 watts of solar. That's what's on my roof. And I could totally survive on that, especially if I'm just running a laptop or just needing to keep my phones charged. But I do have extra solar. When I had my solar installed, I did the plug and play on the outside so that I could just buy an easy 100-watt flexible panel to chase the sun when I'm in trees or in the winter when I have shorter days. So it does come in handy, but it's not absolutely necessary. I could survive without them. I run a high-powered laptop. Your newer laptops, a little Macbook, isn't going to take as much power as I use on my big Alienware. So solar is going to be your number one utility that you need in order to stay charged. And even if you don't do an install on your roof, which can be pricey, I can't remember what it cost me now, $1,500, $2,000 to get 260 watts, actually just 160 watts. I had 100 up there. I just put another 160 on, and to have everything rewired and a new converter and everything, that can get really expensive. But if you're doing this on a budget, you can just get some solar panels like what you see behind me and a battery like a Bluetti, which is what I'm using as a backup, which really comes in handy because I'm not getting a lot of sun because of the tree cover, and it helps during the shorter days in the winter. So you can definitely get by on a couple 100 watts of solar and a backup battery like a Bluetti or any of the other ones on the market. You do not need a ton of solar. You can probably get by working remotely with minimal needs on just a couple 100 watts of solar. So that's the number one thing, your power. All right, so you want to see my office setup and what it looks like to work inside a 24-foot RV. But first I want to say thank you to Chris, one of my patrons. One of the perks of being a patron is I do contests here and there for giving me ideas and suggestions and input and things like that. And you can win great prizes like stickers and t-shirts and stuff like that. So if you want to join Patreon and get more access, more videos, click the link in the video description and join today. And so this is my office setup. This is what it looks like to work inside my RV. It's nothing fancy. So this table I set up in my remodel, and I'll put a link in the video description and at the end so that you can see how I built this. When I did my remodel, of course, one of the biggest concerns and biggest needs was to have a place that I can work, since I spend a lot of time working. Oh, and if you're new here and you don't know what I do for a living, this is what I do for a living. I'm a full-time content creator and YouTuber. And so I built this desk, and this is where I work. And all it takes to work remotely is a cell signal, which we're going to get to in a minute, and a laptop. And you can use whatever laptop you have. Because I edit videos, I bought a gaming software because it's got a fast graphics card and all kinds of memory and everything that I need for managing large files and doing video. So that's my setup. It's pretty simple. I plug in my laptop. In the back, there's an extension cord. It runs all the way under the benches and all the way under here and into that power strip, which is plugged into my inverter, which is back here. So I have like a 1200 watt inverter and 2 batteries. My batteries are 2 golf cart batteries, so 2 6-volt golf cart batteries. That's what I've been running since 2020, and I've been very happy with it. I change them every couple years, but I get plenty of power through with my 1200 watt inverter. I'd like to get a bigger inverter, but if I did, I would need bigger battery, and I would need a bigger inverter to run things like my Vitamix and things like that, but it's not necessary. I love having the extra Bluetti battery. But my office situation, this here is just all my office supplies. A couple baskets up here of mostly camera gear and various, look, I got camera gear, I have microphones, I have hard drives, that's pens, you know, that's where all my office equipment is. Oh yeah, and my Waggle. Good time to thank Waggle for sponsoring this video.
What you doing?
Kisses. Oh, thank you. You know, not everyone can work remotely, and that's why today's sponsor is so important for people who live and travel in their vehicles with their pets. With the Waggle Pet Monitor, you can have peace of mind leaving your fur baby behind, maybe while you have to work, knowing that they're going to be safe. The Waggle Pet Monitor inside your RV, working with the app on your phone, is going to tell you what the real-time temperature, humidity, and heat index is inside your vehicle. And if you're plugged in while you're going to work, thinking that your air conditioner or your heater is going to run, Waggle can also let you know if the power goes out. The Waggle Pet Monitor runs on its own Verizon 4G signal, which means it doesn't matter what you have on your phone. This will speak to a very reliable cell service, and it'll send the information to keep your pet safe to your phone, and you'll always be rest assured that your pet is safe. And as a sponsor of today's video, Waggle is offering you a very special deal. They have never, ever had a discount this big before. 60% off your Waggle Pro Pet Monitor, but you have to use discount code Sadie and the link in the video description below to get your Waggle Pet Monitor. 60% off. Best deal they've ever had for my audience only. So use the link below and use the discount code. Thanks, Waggle. And finally, let's talk about what it takes to stay connected while you're on the road. Is it absolutely necessary to dish out the big bucks for one of these? Okay, Starlink is not cheap. $700 up front for equipment and $150 a month now for the RV mobile plan. Is it absolutely necessary? No, you can just use the data plan on your phone. Almost every modern data plan comes with mobile hotspot data. You might be able to get by with the plan that you have now, but there's all kinds of plans. I have the Verizon plan that gives me 50 gigs of mobile hotspot data. It's really important to remember that your cell phone unlimited plan does not usually include unlimited mobile hotspot data. That's completely different. And I've done videos about mobile hotspots, so I'll put a link to that in the video description below to go into more detail about how that works. But there are Verizon plans, AT&T plans, T-Mobile, they all have hotspot data plans. I'm a video creator. I use at least 100 gigs of data a month between work and watching television. So you're probably not going to need that much. So again, you can get a very affordable plan, maybe $35, $50 a month for, I don't know, maybe 25 gigs if that's all you need. It doesn't cost a lot of money for most people to work on the road. Again, if you're going to be a video creator, it's going to be a little bit different. And why do I have a Starlink if it's not necessary? Because Starlink allows me to go as remote as I want to go. A lot of you may not live like that. That may not be how you dream of your RV life. If you pretty much are just going to go any place that you're going to have a cell signal, this is going to be all you're going to need. Just turn on your mobile hotspot, hook up your Wi-Fi on your laptop to your hotspot, and you're good to go. You can start working, but you're tied to camping wherever you have a cell signal. That wasn't going to work for me. I want to go remote. I want to go where everybody else doesn't go. And so the Starlink has been a game changer for me. Absolute game changer. I love it. It's worth every cent that I pay for it because it allows me to go wherever I want to go. I mean, it used to be, and my friends who have bought Starlinks relate to this, it used to be you're driving out a forest road. I had 2 cell phone plans, AT&T and Verizon, to try to get as much coverage as I could, but I still had a lot of black spots where I didn't have signal at all. But I'm driving down the road and I'm looking at my Verizon phone to see how many bars I have. I'm looking at my AT&T phone to see if I have any bars, and I'm looking for a place for enough sun. And I mean, all of that is gone now that I have Starlink, pretty much. I mean, I just have to have enough open sky. I need open sky for solar anyway, so now I just need northern open sky for Starlink. So Starlink has been a game changer for me, but it is not necessary if you don't care about going very remote. So that's it. That's all you need. You need a little bit of solar, especially if you're just starting out. You need a mobile hotspot plan. You need a computer or a phone. That's all you're going to need to work remotely. It's not as hard as you might think. It's really easy. And with the world changing as fast as it is, there are so many jobs out there to fit pretty much any skill level, any amount of experience. So don't let that stop you. Just get out there, start doing some research, figure out what you might be able to do, and hit the road and get started making a living on the road. All right, I hope you found this helpful. Thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate you very much, and I will see you next time. In the meantime, be happy, be free, and be kind. See you soon.